by the gate. So, long ago, being by the gate was a pun. Hold on. Let me start over. It was like a pun. Was it like a pun? Okay, so trying to tell you something. Technical difficulties, Wi-Fi difficulties. Alright, so back to what I was trying to say. Long ago, very, very long ago, long time ago, a galaxy far, far away. Let me tell you, more technical difficulties. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get by, how to get around this. It's almost like I'm in China. But there's always ways around the blocks, I tell people. That's why we play with blocks when we're kids. Long ago, this is what I started the video with. 2018, April 21st. 22nd. Oh, it's 22nd. 22nd, is it 22nd already? 21st. Yeah, it's 22nd. Alright, Sunday. Here's what I want to tell you for today. Long ago, being at the gate was a synonym for being a judge. And there's like a pun there. And this is what I was learning this morning. Watching a video about that ancient place. The center, the fork in the road of all like civilization. 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, or more. And, well, what I'm trying to tell you is that there's this pun, this double meaning thing. And I really do like puns in the sun. I run for the puns in the sun. It's fun. Fun puns in the sun. I was just thinking about that guy named Lot, and he was in a city, and he was in the gates, which probably meant that he was a judge, and he might have been in the gate as well. So there might have been this double meaning there about who he was. But then his wife looked back when they were leaving, and then she was gone, turned into a pillar of salt. I was thinking about salt too, and about how important salt is, and how like sodium and salt is in batteries or something like that. I heard about that, and it's very, very interesting. I was just thinking about the lymph system, which is the liquid between cells in our bodies. In our body. It's incredible to know that there is this system that is between the cells. And it's mostly water in the liquid between the cells. It's very, very interesting because it's like an organ that's bigger than the skin. Really like to study etymologies, words. Really like to get back into that. Really like to understand things, because it helps you understand the puzzle of life, and it's full of a lot of very interesting things. There are people who study the dirt. They dig holes and they study the dinosaurs and stuff. Very interesting. You can only do so much with it, but you want to really complete the past. I was just watching this film, the Bounce Back, starring that black guy from Criminal Minds, and he was like one of the producers and the star in his own movie that came out in 2016. And there was this contrast between him and the girl that he fell in love with, and I felt very intrigued, because that is a balancing act or power that is very motivational, It's very good to have motivation. It's good to have some hope after knowing that you need it. Some people may have a little bit too much doom, and then they're not able to do anything about it. Other people have this false security of hope without knowing what's at stake, what's happening. They may not have the complete story, the perspective that they may need for what's already happening and what's happening, what's going to happen, kind of thing. And you really don't want to be too doomed out or hoped up. You really want to be able to enjoy each moment and go towards destiny. Destiny is like a big bubble. Not a bubble. More than a bubble. It's better than a bubble. I'm Oatmeal. I'm Oatmeal Joey Arnold. And I'm wearing this hat from my father. Of my father. He worked there. Here. This place. What was that place? Don't remember. Like a lumber place. Or something. But that's kind of who I am. That's where I'm from. We all have that. Our past. Our family. And we continue. And that's very interesting. And I just wanted to talk about that thing that the guy said this morning in a video. That's what I was trying to say at the beginning of this video. And then I got interrupted because the Wi-Fi was stopping and stuff. In this video, it started a little rocky. And in life, it starts off a little rocky. We're little babies. We're like a little rock that comes out, a little baby. We're like little tabs of joy. And we come out and we have to grow up. If we want, I guess we don't really have to. And that's the beauty of life. And people complain on Steam It, for example. And they say, this is crazy. Look at these people. And they're sprouting out spam, hate speech, terrorism, all these things that are like not safe. And that's the beauty of life. The variety of life is that you can do really good and really bad. You can make a lot of money and become really poor. You can be very healthy, very not healthy. These extremes are what makes life real because of the risk that is available. If you eliminate risk, you eliminate freedom, opportunity, the ability to decide whether or not you're going to go for the good, for the better. It's not just about going for what is good, but in going for what is best, what is better. And life is always full of those opportunities. You really don't have to tell somebody, hey, do you want to do a good thing or do you want to do a bad thing? Generally, people don't really want to do bad stuff. And even the bad people can be like, well, I'm doing a good thing. I'm a good person. Bad people are generally not saying that they're bad. Does that mean that they're not bad? Maybe not, if you think about it. But it makes you wonder, are you good or bad? You may not know if you're good or bad. If you don't have a standard, if you don't have an objectivity to base your life off of, if your life is totally relying on subjectivity, relativism, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, so what are you going to do about it? I mean, do you care? Is there anything that you can say or do that matters? You know what I'm saying? Like, either you can do whatever you want or you can't. But who's the one that makes up the rules? Obviously, we think we know how it all works. Basically, generally, we start out listening to what our parents say, and they're the ones that make up the rules. And then also the school, if we go to a school, and then the government, probably, in our country. But then if we ever think beyond those terms, then that's where the debate is more so. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of hard to explain if you don't already get it, if you're not already there. But this video was supposed to be focused on that first thing that I said at the beginning, what I was trying to say. First thing I was trying to say in this video. What was I saying? I was saying that long ago, it would say, like they would say, oh, the guy at the gate. There's the guy at the gate. I probably should have started this video like that so that people could understand. Maybe I should start this video over and tell you something in a more of a conversation like Scott Adams would. Because people can relate to Scott Adams and Dilbert, Garfield. Stories, cartoons, illustrations, visual stuff. That's why visualizing is good. That's why visualization is a key thing that Michael Jordan does or did. Athletes do it a lot. Visualization, like it's an exercise. It's a habit. It's a really important habit to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make a little video, and say, you know, if you're ever by the gate, you might also be a judge. And then I was thinking about gates and borders and walls and doors and locks, and all those things are things that we all have. We have skin. We have skin in the game, and we have skin. We have borders and boundaries and limits, priorities. These things are very important, not a bad thing. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. That's what Trump always says, and other people say it too, and it's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing to remember that having doors is not a bad thing. We all have doors and stuff, and whenever somebody says, well, we need more open borders, well, you need more open mouths. You need more open doors. Open doors are good for opportunities for the right people who are ready for it, or who deserve it, or are given those opportunities at those times. So the question will be, if you really want open borders, then you might as well just like keep your doors open all the time, right? That would be the question for people who say that they don't want to preserve their culture, their history, where they're from, their people. If you really care about different cultures and stuff, you should do your best to help preserve countries, people, religions, cultures. But you can't do that if you promote and allow people to destroy it. That's happening in Europe. And if I was in Europe, I'd probably get arrested for talking about that, because a lot of people do. And some people go to Europe, those countries in Europe, they get arrested. They get kicked out of the country, and people talk about it. Tommy Robinson talks about it. Lauren Southern talks about it. Stefan Molyneux, he talks about it. Brittany Pettibone talks about it. Brittany, Lauren, Stefan. Other people talk about it. Lots of other people. They make videos about it. Milo talks about it. Milo talked about how terrible the reboot of the Ghostbusters were. Then Twitter said to Milo, "You're banned. You're out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. You can't say that." Twitter. Well, what did I say? You can't say. This is what Twitter said. Yeah. Twitter said, you can't talk bad about the new reboot of the Ghostbusters. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why? Why would you say bad about Ghostbusters? You gotta get out of here. So they they kicked him out. So Milo cannot be on Twitter because he made a review about the Ghostbusters. And they went after the Health Ranger, Agenda of Evil, InfoWars. They've been going after Gap, Steemit, Bitcoin on the social media, and it's been pretty crazy. But a lot of big things are happening, and if you don't know what's going on, I hope you find out in the next year or so. I hope you see what's happening, and I hope you think about how historic it is, and you have an opportunity to be a part of it if you're not already doing your part, whatever your part is. And this is a lot different than just even like a few years ago. Even like, say, for example, before the year 2010, a lot of things were different. Not totally different, but comparatively a lot different, a lot more different. Historically, globally, the opportunities are 10 to 100 times greater and more influential. People are living like kings in a good way. Kings and queens in a good way, not in a bad way. I say that because people get hung up by certain words and terms. They get a little termed out. Termed out. Turtle time. Termed out. Man, people get termed out, and it's a little bit unfortunate, but people do get a little termed out. Like, what I mean is that people get a little lost in, a little disgusted by certain things because of their feeling of certain ideas or opinions because of what other people told them about these certain, things or people, and you become a little closed-minded about certain things. So if I say the wrong word, then you will probably stop listening, for example. And that means basically you're a little bit closed-minded, maybe a little too closed-minded, possibly, unless if you're like totally decided beforehand of your own stand on something, and you already heard about it before, whatever I'm talking about, for example, and you've already decided that you're against something. But if I actually introduce something to you that you never heard of before, and you don't take the time to listen to it for the first time, then you might actually be closed-minded. And that's what being closed-minded is all about. It's not just about rejecting an idea after you heard it. It's all about rejecting something that you never heard of before, something that you don't even know. Whenever I learn, I see more things I don't know. That's why they say the more you know, the less you know. Because you start to become aware of more things that you don't know. You start to look farther away at more things. It's kind of like looking at the sky. You're looking at the heavens, looking at outer space with an astronaut telescope. You look at the sky, and you look at the stars, and then you zoom in. The more you zoom in, the more stars you see. That means that there are more things you don't know, because you don't know so much about each of those stars. You don't know, do they have planets? And do the planets have aliens, life on other planets? Do they have snow? Do they have water? What do they have? What do these aliens do? Do they talk? What kind of things do they do? Do they have two heads or one head? Do they have cars or houses? What do they do? And you start to ask these questions, and the more questions you ask, the more other questions you have to ask too, because every question produces an answer that then produces more questions, and then you start to feel like you know less even though you know more. And that's the kind of world that I live in, because I've been at this Game of Thrones, this game of life for a very, 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 very long time. And I invite people to be a part of that. That's why I'm an original, kind of person, and I try to let people know what I feel and everything as much as I can, as often as I can, and everything. And it's difficult. But everybody has an opportunity, and especially now. And we can all be by the gate as judges, and judging is a good thing, not a bad thing. It gets a label to be a bad thing, because that's what the enemy wants. That's what terrible people want. They want you not to judge because they don't want you to have critical thinking. They don't want you to really figure out how to decide for yourself what you want to do in your life, what you want to believe. They want to tell you what to believe, what to think, what to say, what to do, what to wear, all those kinds of things. So that's why they have to make sure that you don't have the ability to do a little bit of critical thinking on your own to figure out what's right and wrong. And you can be wrong about some things, but isn't life all about deciding how you want to live? Whether you're right or wrong is another matter altogether. But do you really want to be forced into what to do exactly? Do you want somebody else to tell you exactly what time to go to bed, and what you can do, what you can eat, where you can go to school at, where you can work at, who your friends can be? Do you really want other people to control everything in your life, or do you want the ability to make those choices? That's what freedom is all about. And that means the ability to make the wrong choices should be there too. And when you make the wrong choices, then consequences follow automatically. Or at least they should follow. Right? I mean, right? Right? I don't know. What do you think about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. So, you can find me on Steam It. Just Google my name. Go look up my name. You'll see that whenever you look up my name, if you don't see me on Facebook in the future, and you wonder where I am, just go and try to find me. Just look up my name, Joey Arnold, or Joey Arnold VN. VN for Vietnam. VN. Joey Arnold VN. That's my username. So you can find me if you wanna. But that's the beauty of life. You don't have to. I'm gonna try to play some basketball today at the high school. And I've been doing that the past 3 or 4 weeks. So I think this is my 3rd or 4th week. And I've been getting back in shape. It's difficult, but it's what I'm choosing to do. And I really enjoy getting back, as I'm not over the hill. I like to be in the gate. I like to be influential a little bit, but at the same time, you can't control how influential you are or not. All you can do is do what you do. Maybe you do what you want to do. But everybody else has an opportunity to do what they want to do too. So then there's a question of, what do you believe in? Do you believe in love? And if you do believe in love, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? We talk about that a lot. You know what I'm saying? We talk about that a lot, but we never get really deep into that. People talk about love. So you know, people talk about life and love all the time, all around the world, for hundreds and hundreds or thousands of years. And sometimes people can get deep into it. Some philosophers can get deep into it. Other kinds of people can get into that conversation, that debate, those discussions with people. And that's where the heart of the matter is in those discussions. So if you want to make a difference in the world, have conversations, and you don't really have to pound people to death. But at the same time, you don't have to be totally alienated. You don't really have to be scared of confrontation. You can take it and you can give it. And if people don't respond enough, you can move on. You can walk away. That's the heart of the art of the deal. The heart of the art of the deal. The heart of the art. Heart of the art. Heart of the art of the deal. The heart of the art of the deal. It's almost like a song. Life is a song. Very interesting. 2018, 4/22. Life is exciting. So, I just wanted to tell you about the gate and how you can be in the gate. And there was the irony there with the Lot. The guy named Lot and his wife looking away. And so it's almost like he didn't know. So he learned a lesson that his wife was going to look back and turn into a pillar of salt. We gotta be salt of the earth. We can be, and that's the best thing you can ever be for other people, a light in a dark city. Because there's light at the end of the tunnel. And you want to be a flashlight and a light in a dark world will shine. You will see the light. No matter how dark something is, you got light. There's the attraction, there's the focus. There's something that helps you see what you need to see. What's already there, good and bad. And you can go towards the good and you can go away from the bad. And the light helps you, and that's why we are to be the light. But you can't just be light if you don't have a source for the light, for the fire, for the salt. So you gotta get it. You gotta get the hope over dope. If you want that, you gotta think about how you can get it. And some people won't have it, but they may say they have it, but they don't have it. So you gotta ask yourself, do they really have it? If they don't, then maybe you shouldn't really try to get it from them because they don't really have it. And you gotta go to other people who do. You wanna have the hope. You wanna have the light. You wanna have the revolution. You wanna have something that's totally different in the world. And you gotta go to the people that have it. And there's nothing better than to look for outrageous joy. And that's what everybody's doing. That's what L4OJ is all about. That's an acronym that I created. I made up back in 2004 or so, around that time. Wow, it was about what, 14 years ago or something. And there's so much hope in that. Hope over dope. So much joy over circumstances. In this illumination that's out there. Illumination. it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. My hair, is that a beautiful thing? Not sure, but it's an interesting day. It's an interesting world that we live in the midst of the fire. There is the flame that comes out, and it goes towards the sunset, the sunrise. These are beautiful things. The rainbow is a beautiful thing. It's a reminder of something that we can't even imagine, barely, even though we think we know what it is. It's like the symbolism there is unlike anything, as a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So think about that. Like, what in the world's going on? Am I laughing? Yes, I am. I really am. I'm going back on Steemit. Still got more work to do in Steemit, so I'm mostly there most of the time. I'm barely on Facebook nowadays. And you can imagine why, with the delete Facebook hashtag going around like the flu. Going around like the flu. You can imagine that it's a lot like the Titanic. And I gotta catch them all like Pokemon. Gotta get them all. Gotta get them all. Pokey Steam. Steam it. Pokey Steam. Gotta get them all, and that's kind of my mindset. A little bit like Facebook in some ways. I really do miss MySpace and customizations that MySpace had. And I love the ability to learn things. I've been learning a lot. I went to 5 schools off and on. I would go to college, and then I would stop, and I would work, and then I'd go back to college, and then stop again, and then work, and then go back to school. I went back and forth from school to work a few times in my life, and it's very interesting. And I know other people who have done the same thing. It's interesting to think about. Very, very interesting. I just remember being in Hawaii and Canada and Vietnam. I think about that. And I think about, all the different places I've been. I think about the 5 years that I was in Vietnam. I think about the 5 years that I worked at camps, and I really, really enjoy working at camps, working with people, being a counselor, being a teacher, being around people, lots of different kinds of people. There's the opportunity to be around different kinds of people, learning things and passing it on, like Yoda says in The Last Jedi. I really love Star Wars because of the motivation that it gives you to become a Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader, I guess. But even Darth Vader is motivational in that somehow he served a purpose and he came back. But I guess that's a little bit of a problem. So I guess, I don't know, like, I'd love to be Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi, not so much of the Last Jedi. I'm not really happy if he did, spoiler alert, die or something. But I still believe, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still believe in the beauty of life is something that's unfathomable and unfathomable. I can only imagine. I saw that movie with the family here, my family, and it's remarkable. I was crying through the film. It's a great film. You can go see it. You can learn a lot from. I can only imagine. It's a very incredible, very interesting film. there's a lot of other films out there too, but oh man, can't see them all, so you gotta pick wisely. So I'm gonna vote for that one for the moment. I'm eating from our gardens. That's good. And there's a lot of things going on in my life and in the world, and I really want people to look at what's happening and to think about whether or not they want to play their part. If they want to play their part, you really gotta see what's going on, and you really gotta be invested in what's going on in the world, kind of thing, each day. And sometimes I'm a little bit discouraged around people if they're not really aware of what's going on, or if they don't see all the dots and the connection, in connecting the dots in life. And with the current events, when you compare it with history, it makes a lot of sense. If you see the patterns, if you follow the money, if you understand who is paying who to do what and why, and if you just remember what they said yesterday and what they say today. For example, if you notice what they were doing like 10 years ago, what they were doing like 50 years ago, and if you see these people, and you can think, well, maybe these people are terrible people because they did this or they did that. You can say that, but then you can look and you can see other people paying them money, and then you can start asking questions about who in the world are these other people, why are they paying them money, and what's this infiltration thing going on, like what's it all about, like what's going on. But in order to understand all that, because it's very confusing, you really gotta like have a foundation to how the whole universe works. If there is a foundation, if there is this objective principle to the universe, to anthropology, psychology, sociology, those things. If there is a root, a core, a foundation to how it all works, wouldn't you want to know that? Would you want to know that? If you could find the secrets, the shortcuts to life, would you care, or would you just throw it away? I guess that would be the bigger question. If you were to ever find a big old book that said, here are the secrets to life, would you look at the book? Would you try to read the book? Would you try to tell other people about the book, about the secret to life, how to make more money and how to live longer or live forever, and how to have more friends and be more happy, and find meaning and purpose in your life, and the people around you, the people that you care about the most, things that you care about the most? If you had a book about those things, would you just bury it in the ground? Would you tell people about it? Would you read the book? Would you try to understand that book on the secrets of life? And if people try to burn that book, what would you do? Would you just let them burn the book? If the government tried to stop you and try to burn the book of the secret of life, the secrets of the keys and secrets of the universe, would you travel the universe like a Marco Polo, like Christopher Columbus, and try to find the book? And would you really care? Would you really sacrifice everything to have it? And would you want to give it to your children, to your grandchildren, to other people that you really care about? Would you really want to talk about it with other people? Or would you just give it up and say it doesn't really matter because I don't really want to know about the secrets to life of what really matters? Do you find satisfaction in just being happy moment by moment without something that can last forever? Do you believe that there can be something that can last forever, something that can last through your life longer than just an hour, longer than just a day? Can you find joy that goes beyond happiness? If there is nothing out there, if there is no hope, no joy, then why should anybody care about other people? Why does it really matter if we are only animals? Then why would we not act like animals? And you know, like how animals act generally, especially when they're in dangerous situations, it could be very difficult to survive. And that's the beauty of life. You have the opportunity to decide what kind of life do you want to live? What kind of people do you want to be? And that's what I try to promote. Those kinds of things. And that means letting people F their lives up and do terrible things. You gotta let people do that. Otherwise, they never see what they're missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot like being a father, being a mother. You should really let your kids grow up. So you gotta give them the opportunities to make those life choices on their own. And especially when they're learning how to walk. They get up, they fall down. But you really gotta let them fall. And that's what life is all about. We fall, and we get the opportunity, we get to choose whether or not we get back up, and whether or not we go towards the light, the salt, the fire of the purpose, the meaning, the root of life, which is there for everybody. And it's not hard to see what life is all about. And it's not difficult to find what holds everything. You can have hope, you can have security. If you don't already, you can. Definitely can. Some people will say that they kind of have it, but they won't really have it. And if you ask them enough questions, they will admit eventually that they don't really have it. And if they don't really have it, then you should tell other people that they don't really have it, even though they will continue to tell people that we have some peace. For example, that's the word that they use, for example. Other people use it too, but that's one word that they take and say, we are a religion of peace, for example. People love that word. I say more like pieces, and not just peace, but you can have that. You can have it if you don't already have it. Like Billy would say, you can have it. And he was there, and he was able to help a lot of people, regardless of anything else. He was able to help a lot of people. And you know that, I know that, we all know that. Billy, old Billy, he talked about it, and that's good. Okay, so, alright, so in this video I just talked a little bit about being by the gate is like being like a judge, and you can have hope and love and content and purpose in your life. If you don't, and you can find it. I got it. Do you have it? Hope over dope, you know? What do you got? You got a rope over the slope? With oatmeal, my bowl is Jesus in your soul. Bye-bye.